Flylady Diane here. Welcome back to my Christmas Advent calendar. All this month in Flylady, for the month of December, we have been concentrating on self-care, on pampering, doing something nice for yourself every day for at least 15 minutes. Using our timer and doing 15 minutes for ourselves. Now, when I found Flylady back in 2006, I think it was, as I said, I thought I'd found the Holy Grail, the answer to all my problems. I felt overwhelmed, stressed. So, I signed up for the emails. I listened to all of Flylady's broadcasts, the Fly Show, read the book, did everything. And, I did really well in the beginning and I was shining my sink. I wasn't very consistent with things, but, life really changed for me. And I got all the principles, of paper clutter, menu planning in November. But when we got to December, when it was pampering, I thought, probably like the rest of you, well, I've got lots going on, so I'll do that another time. Big mistake, because it was only when I took the Flylady's words on board and actually started to look after myself that the whole system really fell into place for me. And if there's anything I want you to take away from this Advent calendar, is that you can be shining your sink, you can be trying to get on with your routines, you can be menu planning, but unless you're looking after you, you're not going to get the benefit, the full benefit. It's only when you really sit down and think about what you're doing with your day and what you're doing with yourself to look after yourself that things will fall into place and you will feel that peace. So I just want to encourage you to take 15 minutes, use your timer if necessary, because for people like us, we jump from one thing to the next and we think, I've got to be wrapping Christmas presents, I've got to be out shopping for turkey, I've got to go and pick up the kids. We've got so much going on. But if you would just realise that if you sat down for 15 minutes, get a nice cup of tea, a cup of coffee, look at the lights on the Christmas tree, do anything you can just to sit down for 15 minutes and do absolutely nothing. And I'm telling you, for me, still some days it's difficult for me just to sit still for 5 minutes. Use a timer, try it yourself. Can you sit still for 5 minutes? 10 minutes, put everything else out of your head? Something that we need to practice, because once you get into it, you will find that you are so much more productive. You have a better outlook on things, you'll begin to feel the stress leaving, and then you'll have more energy to put into your routines and whatever else life is throwing at you. And one of the missions that changed my outlook completely with Flylady was we were working in the living room. It was zone 5. And, the missions came in, hoover, vacuum the baseboards, or the skirting boards as we call them in Britain. And, I had done all the missions and the place was looking good. And the last thing on the Friday was a mission that said, buy yourself a small bunch of flowers or a little candle, just something small the next time you're at the grocery store, and put it on the coffee table. And I remember thinking at the time, well, I don't need to do that. I've got a whole garden full of flowers, and I don't need to do that. And I also thought, I shouldn't be spending money, which was quite ridiculous because I'd been saving so much money with actually planning our menus. I wasn't paying library fines, library fees for overdue books. And you know how it is with the Flylady. If you've been listening to the radio shows and the podcasts, when I was at the grocery store the next time at the supermarket, I had her voice in my head. It's like having her, on my shoulder the whole time. And I went ahead, and I felt guilty about it at the time, but it was ridiculous. It was something like 20 Danish krona, which is, I don't know, about $3, £2.50 in British money. And I bought myself a little bunch of flowers, came home, put it on the sofa table, coffee table, and that really changed everything for me. That small token to myself to say that, you know what, you've done a good job, you're doing the right thing, and you're looking after you. So today, it's the 22nd of December. Let's check my Danish Advent calendar candle. Your mission is to do something nice for you. If you are out shopping at the grocery store, if you can find something for you, just a small token thing, a small candle, an LED candle, if you have kids or pets and you don't want to be starting a fire, do something for you. That is the best advice that I can give to you if you're following the Flylady system, because if you're looking after you, everything else will fall into place. So before I get all teary, I'm going to stop there. Flylady Diane signing off from very dull and grey Copenhagen. 22nd of December, only a couple of sleeps until Santa comes. We celebrate Christmas on the 24th in Denmark, so we've got one day less to get organised for it. Wishing you a fabulous Thursday, and I shall be back with you tomorrow.